Not only of energy independence, but we can create 5 million new jobs all across America, including in the heartland, where we can retool some of these plants to make these highly fuel-efficient cars, and also to make wind turbines and solar panels, the kinds of clean energy approaches that should be the driver of our economy for the next century.
The hands that built this nation can build a new economy. The hands that harvest crops can also harvest the wind. The hands that install roofs can also install solar panels. The hands that build today's cars can build the next generation of fuel-efficient vehicles. Barack Obama, a new vision for our economy. Fast-track alternative fuels. Create 5 million jobs developing homegrown energy technologies, because America's future is in our hands.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
How do we end our dependence on Middle Eastern oil? John McCain says more tax breaks for oil companies, even though they're making record profits while we pay record prices for gas. John McCain's drilling plan won't produce a drop of oil for 7 years, and newspapers call his gas tax holiday a gimmick. Barack Obama will end tax breaks for big oil and invest in clean, renewable energy so we can finally be energy independent.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Standing on your own, that's just the Colorado way, and it's what America's got to do with our energy policy, which is why I've led Republicans and Democrats to end our addiction to foreign oil, develop renewable fuels, and provide tax incentives to grow Colorado's new energy economy. We need energy solutions, green jobs, and a cleaner future for Colorado. I'm Mark Udall, and I approve this message because we got to get this right.
What kind of mark has Bob Schaefer made as a politician? He's left a definite imprint, accepting over $150,000 in campaign contributions from oil and gas interests, and voting in Congress to give oil and gas companies over $13 billion in tax breaks. As a politician and corporate oil executive, Bob Schaefer has had all of his fingers in big oil. Colorado deserves cleaner representation in the Senate. The League of Conservation Voters is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Energy. It's put our economy on the brink and left our planet in peril. One leader understands how this crisis affects working families. Kay Hagan believes these challenges are an opportunity to make North Carolina stronger, building a green economy with our research, agricultural, and high-tech assets, creating North Carolina jobs that can't be outsourced, ending our dependence on foreign oil. Kay Hagan, a senator using North Carolina's energy to make a difference.
I'm Kay Hagan, and I approve this message.
Times are tough, but in the U.S. Senate, who has Elizabeth Dole been voting for? Oil companies. Dole voted to give oil companies tax breaks 6 times, and she voted to protect $13 billion in tax breaks for big oil, while voting against clean energy incentives that create jobs. And Dole even voted against cracking down on Wall Street oil speculators. Say no to big oil by saying no to Elizabeth Dole. The League of Conservation Voters is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Heather Wilson or Steve Pierce? It's a flip of the coin. Heads, Wilson took $525,000 from big oil and gave them billions in tax breaks. Tails, Pierce took $492,000 from big oil and voted against fuel efficiency. Heads, Wilson took big oil's money and voted against clean energy. Tails, Pierce took big oil's money and voted not to prosecute price gouging. Heads or tails, it's too bad for New Mexico. The Defenders of Wildlife Action Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So what do you think about Ted Stevens?
He's done a lot for Alaska.
He's been around a long time.
Did you know he's voted to give oil companies like Exxon big tax breaks, even with their record profits?
With what they're charging at the pumps? Really?
And he failed to support renewable energy tax credits.
Against wind power? Really? Really?
I think we need a new senator for Alaska's future.
You know, I think it's time for a new senator.
Alaska Conservation Voters for Clean Government.
How far would a rock star get without a band? A chef without her staff? A point guard with no team to back him up? Barack Obama will create new jobs and fight global warming. But he'll need some help from senators like Jeff Merkley. When you vote, don't stop at the top. Give Barack Obama the team he needs for the change we need. The League of Conservation Voters is responsible for the content of this advertising.
There is power in the wind and the sun. Power to create new energy that's cleaner and cheaper. It is the power to create new industries, new businesses, right here in Missouri. But most of all, it is the power we have to create thousands of new Missouri jobs and put people back to work. Yes on Proposition C for cleaner, cheaper energy.
And above all, I will ask you to join in the work of remaking this nation the only way it's been done in America for 221 years. Block by block, brick by brick, calloused hand by calloused hand. This victory alone is not the change we seek. It is only the chance for us to make that change.